Years before Lizz Vega gained notoriety as a musician, she built an audience online, live streaming video games. Today, she still live streams, but her content has shifted. Her streams now feature performances on harp, guitar, and vocals, offering viewers a window into her work as a musician. A Los Angeles native, Lizz is currently based in Marion, Indiana. I discussed all of this and more during my recent conversation with Lizz Vega. Lizz, thank you so much for taking time to speak to our listeners in Indiana.
Well, thank you for having me here today.
I want to ask you a little bit about your time in Indiana, but first I want to talk about your work as a streamer, because this has been a really central focus of your work as a musician and really your life for the past, 10, 15 years? From what I understand, 11.
Yes, 11. Yeah.
You started out streaming video games before you were a musician, right?
Yes, I did. I started streaming video games in 2014, and that was kind of my first introduction into this stream. Well, not really, because when I was 13, I used to watch streamers on a website called Stickum. Mm-hmm. And so I've always kind of been involved in the culture, but it wasn't until I was older that I actually was like, wow, I can do this. Because then the technology became more available for people like me that didn't have a PC and didn't have a really nice computer. And I was able to go live from my own home.
How did you pivot from streaming video games into becoming a musician and now having a huge following as a streamer, as a musician?
Well, when I was doing video games, I was really into it. Like it was something that I thought I was going to do for the rest of my life. Like, yeah, I'm going to play video games and I'm going to stream because that's where I wanted to go. But, that kind of all just fell apart one day. And I just didn't really feel connected, like I didn't feel connected to video games. I didn't feel connected to just that world anymore because I just feel like it didn't give me a lot of dynamic. I was only competitive and I was only focused on, I don't know, it just didn't, it didn't align. And so in 2015, I started singing a little bit and playing music with one of my friends that would carry around a little guitar. And she was kind of the first person to tell me like, hey, do you want to sing with me? And I was just like, sure, like that sounds fun. And that was my first tiptoes into actually doing music and being like, wow, like I really enjoy doing this. And so that's kind of how it started. Is I pivoted from video games to music maybe like 6 months after I stopped streaming video games. And then I went straight into just picking up the guitar and singing and teaching myself how to do that, all while streaming.
I wanna hold the hand inside you. I wanna take a breath that's true. I look to you and I see nothing. I look to you to see the truth.
You mentioned you're self-taught harpist, you're self-taught guitarist. When did you start performing music? And tell me about your journey as a musician.
I started performing music pretty instantly. That first month of me playing music and singing, like I immediately went to Hollywood and Highland because I was living in Hollywood at the time. I was born and raised in Los Angeles. And so I immediately went to Hollywood and Highland and I just started busking. There was just this urge to want to share this part of myself with people. And it was the first time I ever really had that urge to want to share something and be like, I want to do this in front of people. And so, I don't know. I just immediately started busking on Hollywood and Highland, and it allowed me to just connect to people in ways that I've never had before, because there was a lot of moments where there was just people that would come up to me and talk to me after I would finish performing a song, and they would just tell me their life story, or they would tell me how they were feeling, or how what I was doing, affected them. And I don't know, there was just something about that really made me realize like this is what I want to do, because it allowed me to connect to people for the first time in my life in a way that felt natural. And yeah, it just felt natural. So that's kind of how I just immediately started. As soon as I started playing music and singing, I just went to busk.
Soy el fuego que arde tu piel. Soy el agua que mata tu sed. El castillo, la torre yo soy. La espada que guarda el caudal. Tú el aire que respiro yo. Y la luz de la luna en el mar. La garganta que ansio mojar.
Obviously, Los Angeles is full of music and culture. Did anyone in your family play music? Or is this something you just kind of gravitated to independently?
I gravitated to it independently when it comes to music. Yeah, there's nobody in my family that does music. I'm the first one. And yeah, it was a surprise. Surprise. I never thought that I would be doing this ever, especially because I started doing music at 23. So it was much, and at the time, before I started doing music, I just didn't think it was something that you can learn. I thought it was something you were born with, or, I didn't think it was, I was going to be doing that.
In addition to playing guitar, harp is also a big part of your identity as a musician. When did you pick up a harp? And that's sort of an esoteric instrument. How did you get acquainted with the harp and start performing?
This was 7 years ago. One of my friends actually played the harp, and we were playing a show together. And the first time that I heard the harp live, which was her playing it, her name is Zerafina. She's an incredible harpist. And I was listening to her play, and it just made me feel, peaceful and calm. And it allowed me to think about some things in my life that I was avoiding, but made me think about them in a good way. And so after feeling that, I just wanted to feel that again. It was just as simple as that, as me just following that feeling that gives me goosebumps, following that feeling that allows me to feel peaceful and calm and be alone while feeling that.
Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds.
So yeah, I got really obsessed with the harp, and I started watching a bunch of videos on it, a lot of technique videos of like how to properly play the harp. And I want to say maybe like 2 or 3 months later, I was able to raise enough money through streaming, because that's one of the beauties about live streaming, is that you're connected to the community and they want to see you do things, and they just want to be in that journey with you. And so I raised money and I got my first harp. It was a tiny one, like a 26 string, but it was enough to get me going, get me started. And as soon as I picked up the harp and I started playing it, it just felt natural, and maybe it was the hundreds of videos I watched before getting the harp, but there was just something about it that made me feel like, oh, I understand this instrument with just the little bits and pieces of knowledge that I had with music.
será fe que yo encontré, una voz de ternura que me llena de placer. Cuando lo oigo hablar, en sí me enamoré, que nunca lo conocí, sueño en su querer, en sus brazos quiero dormir.
You have a really unique sound and style on the instrument. Obviously, the harp is an ancient instrument. It's been played for thousands of years, and people reinvent the instrument over time, people like Alice Coltrane. What is your approach to this instrument? How would you describe your style and sound on the harp?
I love jazz. I love jazz. I love those like 40s and 50s songs. I love Smokey Robinson. And so I want to say that it just, because I don't really think about what kind of music I'm playing when I'm playing it. I just play it and it just comes out with what it is. But I definitely have been influenced a lot by, Nina Simone and Louis Armstrong and Billie Holiday and Sarah Vaughan and just all those classical, musicians. And I think that just kind of fueled when I started doing the harp. And it's just what it came out to be. Because the one thing I do love about the harp is that when I play it, I don't have to think about it. I just have to listen to what I'm doing. And so it allowed me to be very experimental with my chords and with my sound. So I think it was just that, the natural inclination that I had with the harp, and also a lot of the music that I listened to that influenced it.
Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither while they pass, they slip away across the universe. Pools of sorrow, waves of joy are drifting through my open mind, possessing and caressing me.
Lizz, I want to go back to your work in streaming, because that is such a big part of what you do. You mentioned that you bought your first harp through money you earned as a streamer. You have thousands of followers on Twitch and Kick. In 2021, you were the subject of a nationally published article by USA Today on Twitch streamers. You devote a lot of time to this. Some of your sessions last 4 or 5 hours. You interact with your audience. Describe to us what a session is like streaming for you, and kind of your approach as a musician, and sort of what's happening in those sessions.
Well, I think the beauty about streaming is that you get to connect to your audience directly. And also, I think that the reason why I'm able to I have been able to live stream for this long and not have that burnout of just like, well, nobody's watching, because there is a lot of fluctuations when it comes to live streaming, because people are living their lives and doing other things, and there's so much entertainment, so much competition. But I think that what kept me kind of going when it came to live streaming and not get discouraged is that when I'm live streaming, I'm doing exactly what I want to do. There's nothing about it that is forced. There's nobody telling me what to do. It's just exactly what I want to do. And I think that's one of the beauty about streaming, is that you really get to know yourself. And by getting to know yourself and allowing yourself to be yourself, you are connecting to the right audience that's exactly for you, because that's what it's for. It's to connect to people from around the world that are also introverts and that like to stay in, and that don't really, not saying that I don't like to go out, I do, but I just love spending time with myself, and I've always been that way. So to have live streaming available as a tool for me has been honestly a blessing, because I'm able to do exactly what I want. And because of that, I was able to learn how to play the harp, how to sing, how to play the guitar, and also sustain a living. And I think I'm just very grateful to be able to do that.
How could you stay like that? Aren't I enough for you? Love's not a drug for you. Taste of disdain in you. Monotony's paving you. My arms are no mourning you. 'Cause you're not around and you haven't found all that I see in you. Wish I could step back from you.
I want to ask about how you prepare for one of these 4 or 5 hour streaming sessions. I don't know how much of this is improvised. I watched one of your sessions, and it's. I think you were playing an Oasis song at one point, and then you were singing Vicente Fernandez, and your people in the audience are shouting out requests. How much do you prepare for these?
Well, I've done it for so long that it's. I mean, I put on makeup and I get dressed. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just hit the go live button and I'm like, I'm in my pajamas, guys. What's going on? We're going to get ready together. I think, I don't know. I wouldn't say that I really prepare for it as much as I just enjoy it, genuinely enjoy it. And it just feels like something that I'm just doing it, like I don't really prepare much for it. It's just, I think that's the beauty about live streaming is like, I mean, yes, I'm not saying you don't have to prepare for it. There is definitely other streamers, but for me, it's more of I'm just hanging out with a bunch of my friends and they're just getting to know me, Of course, I do have like a list of songs that I've accumulated over the years of doing this. And it's just people requesting songs. And sometimes I listen to it and I live learn it there. So it allows me to, listen to music that I'm not, I don't listen to myself. So I'm just learning. The more I stream, the more I learn. So I don't know if it's really a prepared thing.
Yeah. Lizz, I would imagine one of the greatest benefits of being a live streamer is that you can do it anywhere in the world at any time. You are currently based in Marion, Indiana. You mentioned you grew up in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Tell us about living in Indiana and what brought you here. It's not a common trajectory, LA to Marion.
No, it's not. Well, I am married. I met the love of my life through live streaming, actually. And so he was from Indiana. So that's why I'm here now. I will say it's much cheaper, but honestly, one of the things that I love about it, I'm also Mexican. My family is from Mexico, so I did grow up going there a lot. So it reminds me a lot of Mexico. It's just a slower way of living. I like that I know the people that work at the grocery store. I like having a sense of community. Which I'm starting to build now. I'm taking like pottery classes and things like that. And I don't know, I like it. I think it's different, but it's just another place in the world where I can share what I do and see who else is out there.
Tanto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor. Nuestras almas se acercaron tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí.
What's life like there as a musician?
It's very different. That there's not, I know that in this town, like the mayor is trying to start some kind of music and start more art stuff. Like I said, even like the pottery classes that I'm taking, they just started those classes. So I know that they're trying to integrate more music into the city. And I've actually been in contact with the people at the library here I'm like, hey, can I play a little harp music for kids? If you guys have kids that you guys are reading to. So honestly, I'm just trying to integrate more into the city here and kind of provide some harp music because I don't think that there's much, at least in this town, when it comes to the arts. So I don't know. I feel like I'm it's nice to feel like you're in the precipice of doing something creative for the community.
Lizz, I did want to ask about your work as a songwriter as well. In addition to being a harpist and guitarist, you're also a songwriter, and you have a new single out titled Figure It Out. This is a powerful piece. The lyrics are very heavy. I'm going to play the song, but first, can you tell us a bit about your work as a songwriter and anything you want to share about this song, Figure It Out?
I think, well, Figure It Out definitely came from experiencing the winter. The wind, that's one thing that I I'm still getting used to the seasons in Indiana, because in Los Angeles, there's just not, you can go outside in the winter without a sweater and not die. So so that's new. And so, yeah, seasonal depression was definitely a thing. And homesickness is definitely a thing. And when you're in this place where you can't really go outside and you can't really do anything, it makes you really go inward, which I've really been enjoying, especially now that it's becoming spring and I'm out of it. But I think that not just as a musician, but as a person, you're always trying to figure it out. There's always something that's bothering you or that's keeping you from taking that next step towards your future. And so I think that's what this song is about. It's just about figuring it out. And even though you're doing it yourself and sometimes you don't have anybody around that can really help you with that, you always have yourself, and you're always going to be your number one fan. That's what Figure It Out is about.
Well, let's listen to that track now. This is Lizz Vega with Figure It Out.
I won't turn down my light for you. There's something out there for me, and I won't walk down that line. There's nothing out there for me. Pick up the pieces, no one can break me, no one can take away the reasons why I run and hide.
I'm Kyle Long, and you're listening to Cultural Manifesto. We just heard Lizz Vega with Figure It Out, her new single, and Lizz is my guest this week. Lizz, I'm curious about your future as a musician. You've had a lot of success as a streamer. You mentioned that you do want to play gigs and work in Marion. What does the future ideally look like for you as a musician? Is streaming a big part of your future? Are you working to become more part of the scene here in Indiana? Tell us, give us your thoughts.
Yes, I feel like streaming is always going to be a part of me. I've done it for 11 years. I can't imagine my life not doing it. But I imagine myself just traveling more and playing music, because that's all I want to do. I just want to play music anywhere and everywhere I can. And whether it's, a really big venue or a very small venue or the tiny desk, who knows? But I just want to share my music. I just want to play anywhere I can. And I know that that's in my future.
Before we go, I do want to end with your song Pájaros. But first, are there any final thoughts you want to share? Anything you want our audience to know here in Indiana?
Be creative. It's the best thing that you will ever do for yourself and for your future. Yeah, just keep creating.
Yeah, good advice. Anything you want to say about this song, Pájaros?
Que se los dedico a mi mamá y mi papá y a mi familia que está en Los Ángeles. I dedicate this song to my mom and dad and to everybody to all my family that's in Los Angeles. I miss you guys.
Lizz, our listeners can find you on Twitch, Kick, Instagram, all the social media under your name, Lizz Vega with 2 Z's, right?
Yes, with 2 Z's.
We're going to end with your song, Pájaros. Thank you so much for taking time to talk about your music. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Kyle. I really enjoyed myself.
Espero que me entiendas, es lo mal de mí.
espero tu respuesta. Sin mí yo sé que la noche te secuestra.